I've been asked two questions, well, the panel has been asked two questions. So what are our biggest risks and opportunities? So from a Ports of Auckland perspective, our biggest risk is to our lower skilled staff workers, many of whom English is their second language. We had people that came off the street with no qualifications who we trained on the job, and all they can do is work at the port. So if they are displaced and we don't help them, that creates a major problem and gives them a tough time. So our sector faces even bigger potential disruption. So we're the first port in the world to try this type of automation. What you're seeing here is a large cluster of what we call robotic straddles. So 27 straddles, of which 25 have been delivered. So as I said, the first port in the world to actually implement automation in the way we are, which is a hybrid of robotics and manual. If we succeed, other ports both in New Zealand and around the world will rapidly follow. And that will change the face of the industry. So small ports will be able to automate just as easily as large ports can now. But it's not just the machines that are being automated. If we talk about digital transformation in the supply chain, there's a lot happening. So for instance, Maersk has teamed up with IBM to launch a blockchain platform to make the supply chain more efficient. This could have major impact on the industry, speeding up transaction times, reducing costs and eliminating jobs. And then there's the regular incremental automation of tasks around the office. In accounting, for example, we do have machine learning. And it's been going on for years and it will continue to go on. And of course, we've got the potential automation of trucks. So the opportunities for our staff are less clear. There will be less need for people to drive around in circles, picking up and dropping off boxes, which is really what a straddle driver does. So ideally, a straddle driver needs to be able to be trained to do more fulfilling work. There will be some new and different roles at the port, but these will be higher skilled roles such as IT and engineering, and people will have to be retrained to make that transition. I'm optimistic though, we can never seem to find enough staff, and I think it's a complaint you hear regularly about getting people for horticultural, agriculture, and of course trucking. So maybe the robotics will fill the gaps, do the less reliable jobs, while people upskill and do more interesting and challenging and rewarding work. So around reputation and trust. I recently ran 31 workshops for staff to talk about our purpose. What is our purpose? And two things came out of it. One was to have a sustainable business model, but also to be innovative. And what we've done to actually assist staff, we've said we have a social obligation to retrain you either inside the organisation or outside the organisation. But what we have done, we started a program of work last November where we offered familiarisation program workshops to staff in IT, in engineering, etc. And they were taken up. And I think for the first time, it's really interesting that people thought about what their purpose was, what their career could look like. The second thing we did is, because sometimes those workshops don't appeal to unskilled workers, so what we did, we kitted out some containers which actually represented time from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. And what happens in the last one is you come to a wall and it says, what's my future? It's a mirror, what's my future? You walk in and you're seeing these people sitting around a table looking at what the brave new world would look like, robotics, artificial intelligence, the future of ports, what's my purpose? They're facilitated through that, and we're hoping that actually all of our staff will go through it, and we want to extend that to families and communities. So we will facilitate that over the next 6 to 8 months, but what we are doing also is ensuring that, again, being socially responsible, that people have the opportunity to retrain outside the organisation. So they'll either continue working with Ports of Auckland part-time and we'll retrain them in some skill like electrical engineering or plumbing or carpentry, but they will be retrained. So, thank you.